Čus lidi, vítám vás u dalšího dílu z Banishers, Ghost of New Eden. Jsme ve starém mlýnu, kde hledáme Lemmyho. A zbytek vám řekne předchozí epizoda.
We'll be careful. We don't know what Lemmy was up to. And the signs are not encouraging.
No vidíme. Mám přebyto? Nemám. Docela bych chtěl nějaký nový dír, ať můžeme zase upgradeovat trošku, nevím teda co.
You know, I could get to like it underground. The darkness, the gloom, cool air.
Really?
No, not really. Not at all.
Tamhle je ta postavička. Další truhla. Nevidím tady nic, co by mohl zničit. Tak jdem najít Lemmyho. Někde tady dole bude muset být už.
Oh, there, corrupted weeds. Another sorrow used as a guardian.
Proč je tady Guardian z Voidu? Co tady jako dělá? Neměl by být ve Voidu náhodou schovaný?
All this teamwork.
No nic no, tak asi se tak k němu půjdeme podívat. Budeme muset zabít teda samozřejmě, nebo zničit. Sorrow, to je, myslím, to bylo, že ono to vypadá jak tornádo a mám pocit, že to jsou jako mrtvoly prostě spojené. To je strašně divná věc. No, vymýšlí dost zajímavé monstra, o tom, co si budeme jako. Sice pochybuju, že tahle hra někdy bude mít dvojku, ale kdyby jo, tak bych docela rád viděl, kolik jako nových enemáků zvládnou vymyslet. Nebo co za nové enemáky. Ale určitě tady Lemmy bude, protože kdyby ten tady nebyl, tak ten výtah asi nebude dole, co myslíte? Já si myslím, že mám pravdu. Tak jdeme, zničíme ten Sorrow a někde ho tady. Doufám, že nenajdeme jeho mrtvolu. Tak pochybuju o tom, ale nikdy nevíte. A Borec vypadá, že se jako o sebe umí jakž takž postarat, tak snad ví, co dělá. Nahoře už má zabitý tolik zvířat, že by to mohlo vyvolat celé město, takže si myslím, že to by mělo být v pohodě. Tak, je čas locknout in. Musíme zastavit tuhle mrchu. Oh.
Careful, it's been stung.
What up, homie? Já tě tu nechám, jo? Nemám kam dočovat. Jo! Co se... A on je zpátky! Ty kokos, to nic, kámo, tady je to trošku víc. Ještě jeden hit, kde je ta poslední?
Just die.
Ty kokos.
Time to end this monstrosity.
Jdem to zničit.
Away with you. That was filthy. When all this is over, I might retire.
You'd miss it. You know you would. Here, I found something.
Myslíš Void? Předpokládám. No, ne, počkat.
Dead animals, again. Different symbols and magic. Seems they were used as bait. Is this how he got through the Sorrow's vigilance?
No, jakože je odlákal, ha? Ale i tak, jak se dostal přes jako ten Sorrow, který kempí přímo na tom portálu. Něco asi uniklo, nebo nevím. Tak poberem to tu a jdeme se podívat k tomu asi, k tomu portálu, no. Ještě tady něco máme. Breeding breaches.
These webbings are too thick. We won't get through.
To je zase pavučina. To je druhé místo, kde potřebujeme pavučinu získat.
Sorry. No can do.
Try this on for size.
Tak co bude? Chilluješ? To nic neudělalo. Dang. Boris vůbec neví, co má dělat. Get stunned on, bitch.
Bastard.
Tupec. Vůbec nevěděl, co se mu stalo. Venku zaskohout. Dneska budou všechny zvuky tady v pozadí. Ptáčci, vole, motorka mi tu před chvilkou projížděla. Za vkuse tady bude natáčet nějaký akční film, slyším AKčka jenom.
So, here we are.
Proč je tady prostě randomně Void pod mlýnem?
Into the void.
Suppose we do.
Tak jdem. Void traveling.
Dark rituals, void breach, general weirdness. Lemmy can't be far.
Lemmy jde tady. The Inkwell. To je cool jméno pro quest.
Wards. Think you can fend for yourself?
Jasné. Level 20. Už se blížíme pomalu k finálnímu levelu. Level 25. Tak, tady si vezmu tohle. Na periování dává area of effect damage. Hej, ten kohout mě ale sere. Já
The place is warded.
Zavřu okno, protože mě to znervozňuje docela. Tady je ta vorda.
Demonologists really like pushing the limits of their knowledge without considering other lives.
That just makes them human. Wards.
It's awfully calm. Why is it awfully calm?
Wards. Think you can fend for yourself?
Aha, tady. Jsem se chtěl vrátit, protože oni vždycky tak jako prsknou, když se dostanete do lokace s tou s Anteou, aby ji zastavili. Tak, moc hezký design tady tom Voidu, se mi to líbí strašně, že to není vůbec stejné třeba, jak v tom, zase zmíním God of War, hej. Tam jste vlastně teď chodili přes nějaký vod, ale tam jste chodili dokola, poslouchali jste příběh, zatímco tady jsme byli, tady chodíme tak jako kvůli tomu příběhu, ale líbí se mi, jaký je tady ten design, že se tu teď dá normálně cestovat a tak. Je to tady víc lineární, ale myslím si, že to není problém.
Wards. I'm going to need a hand here.
Got it. Tak. Jsou tady louče, takže Lemmy tady byl určitě. Jinak asi jako to bylo trochu divné. Oh.
Spectres. They haven't noticed us. Stay low.
OK. Tohle je cool. Obejdem je.
Something has me. Wards. Much better.
Careful now.
Vůbec mě nevšímejte.
An Ariadne's thread leading through the void. Very useful indeed.
Co je to tady?
Very useful right
To
until
jsou
it
ty
falls apart.
zvířata, co používali jako
And you're
bait.
stuffed like force meat in a turkey.
Zajímavý, to je chytrý. Že on použil, hele, on použil ty zvířata, aby je odlákal, aby se tady jako mohl dostat vůbec. Mě jako si říct, že borec je prostě jako chilluje tady ve voidu, jo. To je docela síla. Je tady něco? Proč tady nahoru můžu jít? Nebo to jen takhle? No, nic jiného tady nevidím. Takže tady. Lemmy tu má celou bejsku. Co to sakra má znamenat?
Creepy hideout.
Tu má prostě
The
základnu.
governor's spawn likes a bit of drama.
Spawn, ježiši. Drsný. Zvířátka.
This one's different. Looks like it died diseased.
Nemoc, a? Zajímavý. Mapa další. Harrows with initials AR to places have been circled abandoned mill and God's Acres cemetery. Between Arlu and Incarnate seems particularly thin in these two areas. Breach. Co je tady? Demonology writing. Huh.
This is some dark, sideways magic.
It's forbidden. I've read it.
Jak jinak?
Sometimes I worry about you.
A co je teda tohle jako?
What is
Želatina.
this thing?
Banisher
Yummy.
rule number 4.
If it oozes, don't touch it. Another botched experiment?
It may be native to the void.
A konečně. Náš Lemmy je zpátky, náš muž. Náš guy.
So, you can see me. Aren't you full of surprises, young Master Haskell?
You may talk. A Banisher ghost. Amazing. How on God's earth did you find me? Never mind that. Thank the Lord you did. Thought I was going to grow old in here.
Were you stuck in here?
In the Araloo? Originally, I was searching for the source of the poisoning. I may have overestimated my talents. Still, an amazing place to be stuck in, no? Tell me, how did you get past the Guardian beneath the mill? Did you use a decoy?
We fought it. Don't change the subject.
You fought it? Of course you did! A good thing, too. I was starting to think it was wise to me tricks. Oh, but I have so many questions.
This isn't a social call, kid. And we're the ones with the questions.
Oh. Oh. Of course.
We must talk of Caleb Watson. Why in the hell would you give him a resurrection ritual?
Ruth's death hit poor Caleb hard. He was alone, and so I would often stop by his workshop. We talked. He took a keen interest in my studies and was a good listener. When he learned that she could possibly return, he had one question. How?
Men bonding over bereavement and black magic. A pretty tale indeed.
I should have proceeded with more caution.
You shouldn't have proceeded at all. We have a witch hunt on our hands. You could face trial for this botched ritual.
Yes, and I'm sorry. I found it in a copy of De Occulti Philosophia by Cornelius Agrippa von Nettesheim. A remarkable book.
I've met my fair share of illustrious occultists, and none owned an authentic Agrippa. Much is lost in translation or altered in the printing. I doubt your copy is an exception.
Of course. The power is in the words, and mine were wrong, so the power went awry. How very fascinating.
Are you aware of what would happen if people learnt of your studies?
Surely the acquisition of knowledge cannot be a sin.
Will you still say that when Pennington accuses you of witchcraft? You must remember Deborah.
Miss Comenius. Yes, of course, I remember.
Your father tasked us with an investigation. One way or the other, we must return with the mystery solved.
Ah. I think I understand what you're saying. I might be in a tiny little bit of, danger.
From the looks of this place, you're knee-deep in research. What are you doing here exactly?
Searching for the origin of the Harrow's Plague, of course. And I have a theory on the subject.
Of course you do. Go on then.
Now, at first, I believed the water poisoned, but my father sealed the well, and yet folk remained sick. They looked for witchcraft, a foolish, uneducated suspicion, yes, but with some truth concealed behind it. You see, the Araloo taints New Eden. Its influence leaches into the Harrows. The evidence is everywhere.
By the Araloo, do you mean the Void?
Neither name does it justice. This place is beyond words. The Araloo, Mr. McCraith, is made of the very fabric of our primordial myths. Isn't it amazing?
How can you be sure the Void has tainted the region?
In New Eden, the threshold between our plane and this is thin. Even I, a novice, may reach the frontier and then go beyond. I also believe it happened before. Some years ago, New Eden was hit by another epidemic.
Yes, we learned of it in Fort Jericho.
I believe that first epidemic was caused by the porosity of the frontier between New Eden and the Araloo. Although, where theirs was an affliction of burning flesh, ours is a corruption of mind and spirit. And I believe I have found its source. There is a substance, a strange ooze. You may have noticed it. This, I believe, is the true source of the Harrow's poison. It carries a particular stink, on the scent of which I experience first confusion, then a loss of control over my limbs.
What do you expect to find at the source of the ooze?
To find a cure. The ooze seeps into our world, sickening us. I may be able to stop it. Unfortunately, I cannot reach the source. The Araloo is a formidable place. Tricky. A maze constantly evolving, changing, reshaping itself. The isthmus, for example. I found an oozing crack in the ground. The terrain then remade itself, and I can get to it no longer.
Perhaps we might be able to find a way through and take a look at that source.
Would you? That would be splendid. Would you mind taking notes?
You see ghosts. You stroll the Void as if it were your garden. You possess and share forbidden rituals. Who are you really?
I'm Lammy Haskell, and I am a man of many sciences. I am in fact a true pursuer.
That raises more questions than it answers.
What are the pillars of the universe? Which principles underpin existence? As occultists, do we change the world or scratch upon its surface? Each discipline I embrace peels back a new layer of reality. I'm yet at the beginning, and see where I already stand. Amazing, no?
You did not find the void breach beneath the mill by accident. You had help. Who taught you?
I did my research.
Suddenly, you're a man of few words.
I'd rather not involve those not present. Discretion, you understand.
Your father is convinced a witch poisoned his well. Caleb Watson was cursed by a ritual you gave him. I'd focus if I were you.
We must counter the devil with knowledge of his tricks. That, my father always said, is the purest of God's work.
Aye, I can imagine your father saying that.
When I was 10, he gave me my initiation. Demonology, sir, as he would say. He saw me as his heir. Then, of a sudden, the books were forbidden. So I stole them. The very same books he'd forced upon me as a boy. I understand them where he does not. I did no wrong, apart from a little theft.
You've studied demonology. Did you do it alone?
When my father forbade me to continue, I confess I disobeyed him in secret. Those big books were very boring until they were forbidden. Suddenly I could not get enough of their secret knowledge. Funny, eh? More recently, a good friend of my father showed me that I had only been scratching at the surface.
He taught you in secret.
On his visits, I would assist him with the research for the writing of his books. When the curse fell, he fled with thick-skinned newsmith and left all his work behind. I hope he made it. I'd surely like to one day show him the advances I've made upon his work.
Doufám, že ten, co tě to naučil, tak není někdo z těch, koho už jsem odpravil.
Let's go take a closer look at that ooze then.
Jdem najít
With that
ten
sorrow
úz.
gone, I can leave. Do be careful. My home is your home. If you need anything, help yourself.
The Araloo is not your home, Lammy. But thank you.
No, tohle úplně není tvůj dům.
Pardon my morbid enthusiasm, Mistress Duarte. Could I ask you a few questions?
What do you wish to know?
Do you still need to eat? Do you feel hunger? Sorry, it's just you're the first
Zajímavý.
ghost I've met.
Poslechneme si to chvilku.
In person, as it were.
I don't eat. Not in the way you do. I feel hunger. Again, not in the way you do.
Fascinating. And can you touch things, smell them? Are colours the same as you remember them?
My senses are different. It's difficult to describe how. I can see, sometimes touch. I cannot smell. Red tells me this is a blessing.
How do you manifest in this plane? Do you feel bound, or are you here by choice?
It feels as if I were clinging to a rope, high above the abyss. Even if I wished to let go, I could not bring myself to do it.
I see. What about your banisher skills? Can you use them? Do the accoutrements of your craft still work? As a ghost, do they not harm you?
The marks on my hands and the rings on my fingers aren't actually there. They have no more effect on me than a memory.
Can you talk to any ghost you wish?
No. I sense traces of their presence. To talk to them, I must still do the work.
And yet here I am, talking to you. How marvelous. The dead are rarely as articulate, nor are they accommodating. In fact, they're often quite rude.
We should probably get going. Some other time, then.
Well, we've merely scratched at the surface of the great mysteries. I mean, look around us. We stand here beyond the ultimate frontier. Sorry. I mean to say, yes, Mistress Duarte.
Antea, we should get going.
To je cool.
So-
Tenhle mi je dobrý.
The pious governor's unassuming son is our evil Harrow's witch.
I was as earnest as he. Ah, the rank enthusiasm of youth. It's sickening, really.
Shit, půjdem. Tak se měj, budu muset přejít přes tohleto. Plop, 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 plop.
God!
Takže tohle to všechny posedává, no. Jak přesně ti někdo pomůže, vole? Zrychlit taky nemůžem. Tak si užijem šplouchání tady.
Well, that was not pleasant. Well, not pleasant at all.
Tak. Kam se musíme dostat?
A ward restrains me.
A nepovídej. Nikde nic. Tam nahoře taky nic nevidím.
Much better.
Reach the source of ooze. Tak pojďte.
They brought more friends.
Throwing a tantrum, are we?
Nádherná damage.
On your feet, Scotsman.
Oh shit, jsem zmačkal X místo. Jsem nevěděl, že mě tak může chytit. Jsem na to už zapomněl, protože už mi to teď stalo. Eternal Bone, nějaký Spectral Dusty. Vypadá to, že tady můžeme získat asi všechny druhy.
It oozes through the breach. Suppurates like a festering wound.
How delightful.
Ale mě tam furt chilluje. No, tak asi jdem zpátky do našeho světa. No,
Let's see what lies on the other
doufám, že
side.
tam... doufám jako, že to bude jakž tak šklidno, no, to tady prostě protíká přímo dovnitř, takže to bude jako zajímavý, no. Ten Void Ritual ani nepotřebuje žádné resursy, protože hra nemůže spoléhat na to, že u sebe nějak co budu mít. Tak, ukáž se. Kolik růžového nebo červeného slizu může v našem světě tak být? Jezírko? Never mind, vypadá to, že to je
Where are we now?
všude okolo stěny.
Underground, looks like.
Wonderful.
The Inkwell discovered. No, a tady už zase nic není. Tak popojedem kousek, zjistíme, jak to tady vypadá.
The ooze affects the incarnate too. Who goes there?
Ha? Who the fuck is you?
What? Is that a ghost?
I don't know,
Ghost
but I don't think we're
posednutý
alone.
růžovým slizem? Ghostbuster time! Tak jo. Dneska to tady ukončíme, díky za shlédnutí, budu se nás těšit zase příště, prozkoumáme tuhle jeskyni a budeme muset teda Gavenrovi asi vysvětlit, že celé Harrow jsou asi posednuté červeným slizem. Proč říkám růžovým? No to je jedno. Tak jo, díky za shlédnutí a u dalšího dílu zatím čau.